What's up, everybody? It's CSAP, your common sense American patriot, and I'm back. I'm back and ready to start doing some more of my commentary videos. I've been staying up on my social media, but not many videos. I've been busy with my home life, and I wasn't able to quite make the content that I wanted to make and put it out there. And so now I have the time to do that, so I'm back. Today we are going to go over the top 6 candidates in the primaries for the Democratic Party and what this is going to mean for us if any of them happen to beat Trump. And I have a wild card in there as well. So we're going to go over all that right now. I am a real American. Okay, guys, here we go. This is where we're at. So the top 6 Democrats right now that are polling, which again, polling doesn't really matter. I think it just gives you a basic overview, but anybody that takes polling to the heart and believes everything that a poll is, you're out of touch with reality. You've got to know the pulse of the people and understand what's going on, the bigger picture. A poll is just going to get a snippet of the basic overview. Just take a look right here. Everybody's got Biden over here winning, and then you got Sanders +5. So you got anywhere from a +26 Biden to a +5 Sanders favor. So polls, don't believe them. It just gives you a general overview, and that's what I'm going to take right here from real clear politics. Okay, so the top 6 Democrats that I think have an actual chance of winning. I'm not going to go over the loonies that are down there in the bottom feeders that are just trying to get their name out there like Spartacus. He has no chance of winning. He's just throwing his name out there to gain some more political capital in the future. So here we go. The top 6 Democrats. We got Joe Biden with 32%. Sanders is at 19%. Elizabeth Warren has 8%. Buttigieg, I don't even know really how to say his name, is at 8.4%. Harris is the one I was worried about going into this campaign, but she has stumbled a lot in her already campaign, and she's down at 7.2%. And then we got Beto O'Rourke at 5.6%. Now, what do these polls mean? Let's get into that right now. Okay, so let's look at the trends of how it's been going. Biden's been at the top, as you can see here, all along, even though he hasn't even announced. But look, he announced and boom, he shoots up. And who takes the biggest ding? Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders takes the giant ding because essentially he was the front runner of a candidate that has announced. So once Biden finally threw his hat in there, Sanders took a ding. I think these are going to be the 2 big dogs that fight it out, and we're going to see, we're either going to get a crazy socialist in Bernie, or we're going to get a kind of a moderate in Joe Biden, but it's going to have to all play out. And look at Kamala Harris here. She's in the orange. See, she was a threat. I thought she was going to be a heavy hitter in this campaign, but she's done nothing but stick her foot in her mouth all the way through this so far. And look, she's taking a ding, and she's down, Elizabeth Warren is kind of overtaking her for 3rd. Who, again, is another one that just sticks her foot in her mouth every time she opens it. The big one, though, is Beto O'Rourke. Everybody was expecting Beto to make this big splash. I was never really worried about Beto because, great, he did good in Texas, but they dumped the most money out of every Senate campaign ran in the last election went to Beto. He raised the most money, spent the most money, and gave Ted Cruz a run for his money in Texas, but eventually lost. He doesn't have national appeal. He's not going to have national appeal. And as you can see, he kind of got a spike, and then now he's tanked down into 5.6, and he's in last place out of the top 6. Not worried about Beto. So now let's look at this, though. Going forward, we're going to look at the Republicans and how they did in their last primary, and I want to show you how the polls go. This is far from over. This is just the beginning, so let's not get too much into these polls right now because I'll show you why. Okay, so let's go over to the Republicans. This is the Republican polling from the 2016 nominations. Look, everybody's in just kind of all together in a pack at the very beginning. This is the whole 1 year of the primaries here, okay? So everybody's kind of chunked up here in the pack, and then you got Trump that announced, boom, and he shoots up to the lead right off the bat. But I want you to take a look at what Ben Carson did. Ben Carson was just in the middle of the pack, and then look at him start to shoot up, and eventually at one point, right here, he overtakes Trump for the lead in the primaries, and this is in November. So this is 1 year from the election, and he jumps all the way up and gets into the lead. And then as you can see the polls, how shaky they are. They go up and down, up and down, up and down. I mean, even Rubio had a good jump up, and then he completely fell off, and then another good jump, and then he just couldn't hold on, couldn't maintain. Cruz had a good jump and a good run towards Trump towards the end, but eventually both him and Kasich, well, Kasich, I'm not even going to get into Mr. CNN analysis now. But Cruz, he had a good run at Trump, but eventually fell off at the very end, and Trump took it. So you can see how people come and go up and down. I'm telling you, the primaries are going to get very interesting once you start hearing what their policies are going to be, what they're really going to push for, and what they really want to do. Once we start hearing the actual debates, a lot of things are going to change. So as of now, I think Biden is going to be up top. He's going to be the main front runner and Sanders. It's going to be Sanders, and it's going to be Bernie and Biden at the top until the primaries and the debates really start going and seeing what these guys say. People want to know what their policies are and what they really do and how they speak and how they interact. And they can make or break it. Look at Kamala Harris. She's already done one town hall meeting and made herself look like an absolute fool, and she has completely tanked her campaign so far. So it's going to get interesting. Okay, now let's look at how they rank in their party, what they go for. I got this cool website that pulled up that kind of ranked them in 5 points. And I just want to point out here, they always talk about the right being race baiters and white nationalists and the white man is evil and all these different things and we're the racist. Look at their 5 points that this website has picked up on that rated them. Black voters, Hispanic and Asian, so pretty much the rest of the minority group, party loyalists, the left, far left like AOC, and then millennials. Two of your 5 bullet points on how you rated these people are on blacks and Hispanic/Asian minorities. If the Republicans did that, these guys would have an absolute fit. And let me just go back to, I don't care what color you are. Like, we're all Americans in my opinion. I don't care if you're white, black, blue, brown, green. I don't care. I care about your politics, what you want for this country, and what you want for America. I didn't like Obama, not because he's black, I could care less. I didn't like Obama because his policies were trash and he was selling our country out. If Trump was a Hispanic or a black man, I'd love him no different because he's an American president that's doing what's good for this country. It has nothing to do with color, race, or anything like that. But over here, they're rating them off of black voters, Asian, Hispanic voters. 2 out of the 5 bullet points are that. That's the left. They play everything. The victim card is everything. So now let's get into the top 6. What their bullet points and how they kind of rate them out. So let's get into that here. Okay, so let's start off with the number 1 leading candidate here, Joe Biden. So black voters, he's got a pretty good appeal to, which is funny because he's an old white guy. I thought they don't like the old white guys. Like, I thought that was the whole anti-white guy thing. But it just goes back to he's Barack Obama's VP, so they're leaning towards him because of that. He has not much of the Asian Hispanic. Party loyalist, he's probably number 1 out of all the candidates because he is that moderate. They need a moderate candidate because pretty much the rest of the left, besides Joe Biden, has gone extremely far loony left. And so he is the moderate pick. That's who he needs. So far left, he's not far left at all. He's pretty moderate. He's an idiot, but he's not far left. Millennials, he doesn't have much pull to him either because he's just old, crazy, middle-of-the-ground white guy. He has no absurd, crazy policies that he wants to do. So essentially, Joe Biden will be a repeat of Barack Obama if he ends up winning the nomination and winning the presidency in 2020. We will have Barack Obama 2.0, and it wouldn't even surprise me if Barack Obama's on the sidelines telling Joe Biden what to do, and we will essentially literally have Obama 2.0. Okay, moving on to number 2. Good old crazy Bernie Sanders. Okay, Bernie Sanders, as you can see, he has no appeal except for 2 things. The far loony left and the millennials. And the far loony left is he wants to give away everything for free. Sorry, Bernie, everything is not free. He wants America to model Venezuela, who's in an uprising right now, and they have military tanks running over their citizens. Yes, this is what will happen if Bernie Sanders wins. If Bernie Sanders gets in control and gets in power, he'll probably never give it away again because that's what all communists, that's what democratic socialism is. It's really just a fancy word for communism. Once you get communism power in power, they don't give it up, just like in Venezuela. So Bernie Sanders appeals to absolutely nobody but the lazy millennials who don't want to work. They want everything for free, and the far left same. They're pretty much the millennials and far left. They could have put those two bullet points together because they're the exact same thing. Bernie's got a lot of money, a lot of support, but I don't think he's going to win because America is middle. I know there's a lot of divide in this country, but America really is a middle ground, a centrist country. So there's a lot of people that lean right and a lot of people that lean left. There's not very many people that are far right, and there's not very many people that are far left. And Bernie appeals to nothing but the far crazy left. And I don't think he's going to be able to pull it out, but we'll see. This is all going to change, like I just explained, once the actual debates start and seeing what their policies really are going to be. But Bernie's got the lockdown on the far left policies, and we're going to go from there. Okay, now on to number 3, which kind of has come out of nowhere. She was kind of back, but now she's pulling up. Like I said, this is all going to change with the debates and everything else. Elizabeth Warren. I don't think Elizabeth Warren really has a chance. I think she was just in politics for so long that she wanted to throw her hat out there and get into it and get a political clout. I think she might have thought that she's been in politics so long that she might actually have a chance. She may. It could all change with the debates. But here we go. She doesn't have much appeal to the blacks. I hate even saying that, but that's the bullet point. She doesn't have much appeal to the black voters. Asian Hispanic, she has no appeal. She might get a little bit of the Native American because she lied about that for all those years. But as far as party loyalists, she's like in the middle because she's been in politics and she's part of the swamp and she's been there for a long time. The left, her policies aren't even that far left, so I'm kind of surprised that she spikes that far left. I mean, she has some ridiculous ideas and she's been saying some ridiculous stuff, but I don't think she's as far left as she's right up there with Bernie, and I don't think she really is. And then as far as millennials, probably because she's saying she wants to give everything away too, so she's just really parroting. Everybody here is parroting what Bernie says. Bernie's the front runner saying what he's going to say, and at least he's true to it. Most of the rest of these candidates are all just parroting Bernie. So if Elizabeth Warren won, I don't know where our country would be because she's just kind of a mess herself. So I'm going to guess the country will be a mess if Elizabeth Warren were to win. Okay, moving on to number 4, who I thought was actually going to be one of the main players in this race, and so far she's done nothing but stick her foot in her mouth and just blow it so far, which is fine by me because I think she's a real threat. Kamala Harris. Look at all her bullet points around Kamala Harris. She's everywhere. She appeals to everybody, which is funny. She's like Jamaican and Indian, but she appeals to the black voter because she plays the black card. Even though she's not really like African American black, she's Jamaican and Indian. But whatever, who cares, right? They play identity politics all day, so that's their game. So she is the most appeal to them. As far as Hispanic Asian, again, because she's a minority herself, she plays that minority card and gets those voters in there. As far as the left, she's part of the swamp, man. She's done some dirty, dirty things. She slept her way to the top here in California, and that's where she is here in California. She got endorsed by Obama, so she's definitely a party loyalist, and she'll play the game. She's part of the swamp, and she'll keep the swamp going. Millennials, I'm kind of surprised she appeals to some of the millennials, but I think that's because even right here on this bullet point with the left, she's been parroting. Again, everybody's parroting Bernie Sanders. So she's parroting Bernie Sanders, so she's starting to pick up a little bit of the left and the millennials that want everything for free. As you can see in Joe Biden over here, he doesn't parrot anything Bernie Sanders says, so that's why he has like 0 left and 0 millennial votes. So Kamala Harris, I think she's, like you can see here, she's got kind of the biggest, broadest base that she can pull from. It's if she can actually put it together and make herself a real threat. She could be scary, and we're going to see. If Kamala Harris wins the presidency, I think the country is going to be in real trouble. I think she's just a disaster. Even though she's parroting Bernie Sanders, she's going to push a lot of those, grow the swamp. It'll be like Obama 2.0 with Bernie sprinkled in there and giving stuff away for free. So this could almost be the worst case scenario, if you ask me. Okay, this website doesn't have Buttigieg in there for number 5. Maybe, I don't know, this probably came out before he really announced, or a lot of people still don't know much about him. I don't know much about him. All I really know is he's the gay candidate that kissed his husband up on stage, which I could care less. I don't care what you do in your bedroom, so I don't know much about him, so I'll have to do some more research. At this point, I don't think he's a major player anyways. I think he's just that shock value, really. I don't want to say shock value, but it's just appealing to, again, how the left plays it. He's playing to the millennials, the left, the LGBTQRS, the whole category there. He's playing to that, so I think that's why he's even got a little bit. But as far as policy, I think he's just that. He came out, announced, he got a spike, and he's going to go away pretty soon too, because he's not really a key player in this. So number 6, Beto O'Rourke. My boy Beto here. Or I should say Robert O'Rourke. Crazy, he doesn't have any of the black vote. Hispanic, Asian vote. I need to call myself Waito CSAP, and then I'll get a whole bunch of Hispanic voters to call for me. I'm white. I did my ancestry, and I'm just a European mutt. I'm an American mutt. I'm an American. But this silly guy changes his name to Beto, and now he appeals to Hispanic voters. But that goes back to just the left doesn't know policy. They just do what they're told to do. Oh, I'm supposed to vote for him. Oh, I'm supposed to hate Trump. Okay, well, I hate Trump. Even though they have no idea the improvements of their life that Trump has made for them. I just hate Trump. Oh, this guy, Beto O'Rourke, he's for the Hispanics. Okay, I vote for Beto O'Rourke. They don't know his policies. He doesn't have any policies. As far as this part, the party loyalist, I'm kind of shocked. But maybe not, because he's just a puppet. He's really a puppet. He don't have his own ideas. He's being paid to stand up there and say what he's supposed to say, and he's just a puppet, and the puppet master of the party, the swamp, is telling him what to say. So the far left, he's not really there. I thought he would be a little bit higher on there, but I guess not. They don't rate him very far there. And then as far as the millennials, yeah, he skateboards. He's so cool. This guy, his 15 minutes of fame are up. He made a good run at Ted Cruz in Texas, but again, he had the most money. He spent the most money in the entire campaign of 2016, or the entire 2018 campaign. Sorry. He spent the most money in the 2018 campaign, and he still lost. And he lost by a pretty good margin. So I really don't think he was going to make a splash in the national presidential race. And so that's where we're at. His 15 minutes of fame, in my opinion, are up, and he's going to start falling off and going away. If he wins the presidency, that's just a scary thought. What am I supposed to say? That's what we're going to get. I don't think he's going to win, so I'm not even going to go any farther. But he's just a puppet master, so just whatever George Soros and everybody else who pays him money, he'll say whatever he wants them to say. And now on to my wild card prediction. This person, I believe, if they run, is going to be like Trump here, where he comes down, announces, and boom, just spikes out of nowhere. And he obviously comes back down, and I think that's what will happen to this person if they decide to run. I think they're going to have a giant spike. They will jump directly into the lead, throw the entire primary into a mess, an absolute mess. But we'll have to see what happens. Drum roll. Here we go. Here's my big announcement. Michelle Obama. I believe she could still possibly run. Do I think she has a chance? Not really. But the only thing that's going to make her a threat is the name Obama, and a black female, and yada, 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 based on the bullet points that we talked about the other candidates. But Michelle Obama, she is the wild card that could change the whole primary. Okay, so the last thing I want to go over here going into the 2020 elections is the actual head-to-heads. Okay, so we got Trump versus Biden. Again, the polls are just a general overview, and if you take these polls by heart, then you're going to be in trouble, and you're going to be crying at the end of the day again, like Hillary. So right now, Biden, he announced he's running, and they run and start doing all these polls of head-to-head, and they got Biden 7.5 points above Trump. Okay, let's look at Hillary. As you can see, Hillary was 4, 5, 4, 6, 5 ahead. Look at ahead. All through the campaign, Hillary was smoking them by, I mean, anywhere, but look at this, like 12 points she was ahead at one point. And she ended up getting smoked in the general election. So everybody keeps talking about Biden's already 7.5 points up from Trump. Don't let that fool you. I'm sure most of you on the right already know that. That polls are just a general overview, but it is not the pulse of the nation. So that's all I got for you guys today. I just wanted to do the 2020 candidates going into the election and what's going to happen and where they're at and where they lean, what their spectrum is on the voting. I don't think any of these guys really have a chance to beat Trump as of now, but things can change. These guys are going to spend a lot of money beating each other up before they even get to becoming the nominee to run against Trump. Meanwhile, Trump is already fundraising record amounts of money. Economy's booming. Things are going good. The Mueller report came out negative, even though they're still ranting and raving over it. But they have an uphill battle because not only that, they need to spend a lot of money trying to retake the Senate because they need the Senate and they're already behind. I'll post a video. I'll link a video right here. But I've already done a video that they're already behind in the Senate race going into 2020. The odds are not in their favor, so they're going to have to spend a lot of money there, as well as a lot of money to try to defeat Trump. Well, Trump will just continue to fundraise and beat these guys up and just make them look like fools. He's a great speaker. The country loves him. Not all the country, obviously, but Republican base loves him. And the people who are in the middle that are going to be stuck with voting for a crazy loony left or Trump, they're either not going to vote or they're going to end up voting for Trump. That's my opinion, but we'll see. But there's your 2020 candidates. Thank you guys. I love you guys. And I love this country.